If a woman has allowed a certain touch from you, it didn't happen by accident. The female body does not grant access without criteria. Before any word is spoken, before any action is taken, there is a silent decision happening in her mind. The problem is that most men don't realize this. They think it was just politeness, friendliness, or all in their head. Oh, and because they don't understand this detail, they end up moving forward when they shouldn't, or freezing up exactly when the door is already open. There are specific places on a woman's body that are not touched by just anyone, not out of politeness, not out of friendship. When she allows this type of contact and doesn't pull away, something is already being built there, even if she hasn't admitted it out loud yet. And that is exactly what you're going to understand in today's video. I'm going to show you which touches are not neutral, the ones that change the dynamic between you and indicate that real interest is being released little by little. Once you learn this, you will never doubt again whether you're tripping or if there really is something in the air, because the body always speaks before the mouth, and those who know how to read these signs get ahead. From this moment on, you are going to hear what no one has the courage to say. The truths hidden behind rehearsed speeches that most people prefer to pretend they don't see. So subscribe to the channel now, turn on notifications, leave a like, and comment which city you're watching from, because I want to know where you're following us from. Many women fear a channel like ours reaching 100,000 subscribers because they know that the more men wake up, the less manipulation works. It's no use waking up if everyone around you is still asleep. So, subscribe to the channel now to grow our community of clear-headed and prepared men. It's totally free. Now, without further ado, let's get to what really matters. First place, the hand, holding for more than a few seconds. Touching the hand is often the first step in a physical connection between two people. And when she allows you to hold her hand for more than a few seconds, it carries deep psychological meaning. The hand is one of the most sensitive parts of the human body, filled with nerve endings that transmit direct signals to the brain, causing even a simple touch to generate a cascade of emotional and chemical responses. When a woman allows this prolonged contact without pulling away or showing discomfort, she is communicating, even unconsciously, that she feels safe and comfortable in your presence, which is a major indicator of genuine interest. Psychologically, this gesture demonstrates that she has lowered her natural defenses and is open to getting closer, as the hand is also a symbol of commitment and trust in various cultures and social contexts. The fact that she keeps her hand in contact with yours for more than a few seconds suggests there is no resistance to the touch, and this is a clear sign that there is potential for a deeper or romantic relationship between you. Non-verbal behavior related to touching hands is particularly revealing because it is something she does either consciously or unconsciously, but it reflects her true feelings. Women naturally tend to be more cautious with physical contact from strangers or people they aren't interested in. So when she allows this type of touch, especially when it's prolonged, she is saying through her body language that you are special to her. During this contact, her body releases oxytocin, also known as the bonding hormone, which increases the feeling of connection and mutual trust, creating a solid foundation for deeper feelings to develop. The duration of the touch is crucial. A few seconds might just be politeness, but when it crosses that limit and she doesn't withdraw her hand, you can be sure there is something genuine happening on an emotional and physical level. Additionally, the type of pressure and how she responds to the touch are additional indicators of her comfort level and interest. Second place, the shoulder, when she doesn't pull away. A touch on the shoulder is a significant step in escalating physical intimacy, as it represents a more deliberate and intentional approach than simple hand contact. When you touch a woman's shoulder and she doesn't pull away, it communicates a clear openness to greater proximity, signaling that she feels comfortable with your presence and trusts you enough to allow this type of contact. The shoulder is a zone that requires more courage to touch, as it requires you to get physically close to her, encroaching slightly on her personal space. When she doesn't retract or show discomfort, she is essentially saying you have permission to be near. Psychologically, this gesture reveals that she doesn't see you as a threat, but as someone she can trust and wants to maintain physical proximity with, which is a strong indicator that genuine attraction is developing. The shoulder is also an area that connects a person to their heart and emotions, so allowing you to touch it means she is opening up emotionally to you, creating a bond that goes beyond the superficial. The body language related to shoulder touching is particularly revealing because many women have an automatic reaction to move away when someone invades their personal space unless they feel trust and interest. When she stays by your side, maintains a relaxed posture, and might even lean slightly toward you when you touch her shoulder, these are clear signs she wants you to stay close and wants to intensify the contact. Touching the shoulder also activates neurobiological responses similar to the hand, releasing oxytocin and increasing the sense of connection between you two, creating a positive cycle where both feel more at ease. Furthermore, how she responds to the touch is important. If she smiles, maintains eye contact, or moves to get even closer, you can be sure the touch was well received and that genuine interest exists. The fact that she doesn't move away means she is giving implicit consent for an even closer approach, and this is a sign that something real is starting to flourish between you. Third place, the waist. A touch on the waist represents crossing an important line regarding physical intimacy and romantic interest, as this area of the body is considered a more intimate and personal zone for most women. When you're able to touch a woman's waist and she doesn't pull away, it indicates you have already earned a considerable level of trust, and that she is open to physical proximity that is clearly romantic or has that potential. The waist is a zone that requires you to be physically close to her, often from the side or front, which means she has allowed you to significantly enter her personal space without protest or distancing. Psychologically, allowing someone to touch her waist is an act of vulnerability, as this area is close to her emotional core and physically near more intimate parts of the body. So when she allows this, she is saying she trusts you deeply. Touching the waist also has a clear connotation of possessiveness and protection, symbolizing that you want to be close to her in a way that is definitely different from a friendly or platonic gesture. A woman's response to a waist touch is one of the most reliable indicators of her true romantic interest, as this is one of the last barriers before touches that would be considered explicitly sexual or romantic. If she allows you to touch her waist, whether passing through a door, dancing, or even during a conversation, and she does nothing to move your hand away, it is an unequivocal green light that she wants to be near you in an intimate and connected way. During this contact, oxytocin flows even more intensely, creating a neurobiological bond that makes both people feel more connected and desire to be even closer. How she responds to the waist touch is crucial. If she leans into you, places her hand over yours, smiles, or even reciprocates by touching you, you can be absolutely certain there is genuine interest and attraction. The waist is also an area many women naturally protect, so allowing your touch in this region means she is deliberately choosing to trust you and be close to you in a way that is unmistakably romantic. Fourth place, the hair. Touching the hair is an extremely intimate and personal gesture, as hair is a part of the body many women consider sacred and do not easily allow strangers or people they have no interest in to touch. When a woman allows you to touch her hair, whether running your fingers through it, tucking a strand away, or any other type of contact, it represents a deep level of trust and comfort that goes far beyond simple romantic interest. Hair is closely connected to female identity and sensuality, and allowing someone to touch it is an act of vulnerability that demonstrates she sees you as someone safe, reliable, and special in her life. Psychologically, Touching the hair activates extremely sensitive sensory receptors in the scalp and releases significant amounts of oxytocin, creating a sense of pleasure and connection that is hard to ignore or deny. When she allows you to touch her hair without pulling away or showing discomfort, she is communicating non-verbally that you are someone important to her, that she trusts you completely, and that there is a physical and emotional attraction she is willing to explore and deepen. A woman's response to having her hair touched is particularly revealing because many have a natural protective reaction when someone tries to touch this part of their body, unless they feel a high level of trust and interest. If she remains calm, relaxed, or even leans toward you when you touch her hair, these are extremely positive signs she wants to be close to you and is open to increasing intimacy. Hair is also an area many men find attractive and sensual, so when she allows your touch there, she's essentially allowing you to see her as someone desirable and attractive, which is an important step in the escalation of intimacy between two people. Studies show that women who have allowed partners to touch their hair are generally in more advanced stages of romantic interest or are already in relationships where trust and intimacy are established. Touching the hair also communicates a sense of care and adoration that is different from other touches, suggesting you see her as special and valuable. When she responds positively to this, she is returning that admiration and affection unequivocally. Touching the hair marks a point where the intimacy between two people becomes undeniably romantic and deep, leaving little room for doubt about the level of interest and connection that exists between you. If you can touch a woman's hair and she doesn't pull away, allowing that contact to continue and even responding positively to it, you can be absolutely sure there is genuine attraction, deep trust, and a mutual desire to deepen the connection. Hair is one of the most protected areas of the female body, so allowing your touch is a deliberate and conscious act of openness and vulnerability, granted only to people who are truly important and desired. When she allows you to touch her hair, smiles, closes her eyes in satisfaction, or makes any other gesture indicating approval and pleasure, you are receiving clear confirmation that you are someone special to her, that she feels safe and desired in your presence, and that she is completely open to letting this connection grow toward genuine and meaningful intimacy. Touching the hair, therefore, is one of the most reliable signs that something real and deep exists between you two. Fifth place, the cheek. A touch on the cheek is a gesture that carries deep emotional and highly personal meaning, as this area of the face is often reserved only for people with whom we have a significant and genuine emotional connection. When a woman allows you to touch her cheek without pulling away, it indicates she sees you as someone special, someone who deserves to be close to her face and her vulnerability, as the face is one of the most exposed and unprotected areas of the body. Touching the cheek is often a gesture of tenderness, care, and admiration. When she allows this, she's saying you can be tender with her, you can be near her face, and she trusts you completely. Psychologically, touching the cheek activates a deep emotional response, as this area is closely connected to nonverbal communication and facial expressions that reveal our truest feelings. When she allows you to touch her cheek and responds positively, she is communicating that you are someone for whom she has genuine affection. She feels safe in your presence, and there is an emotional connection that goes beyond physical or superficial interest. A woman's response to a cheek touch is particularly significant because the face is the most expressive part of the body, and because allowing someone to touch it is an act of trust not granted easily. If she maintains eye contact when you touch her cheek, if she smiles, closes her eyes in satisfaction, or leans into you, these are extremely positive signs she is enjoying the contact and wants to be close to you in an intimate and connected way. Touching the cheek also has a unique quality of communicating emotion in a way that words often cannot. When she allows this touch, she is allowing you to touch her in a way that is deeply emotional and meaningful. Psychological studies show that facial touches, especially on the cheek, are extremely reliable indicators of genuine romantic interest and a level of trust only reached when both people feel emotionally connected. Touching the cheek can also be a precursor to a kiss, as it represents proximity to the mouth and face that is clearly romantic in nature. So when she allows this, she may be signaling an openness to even greater intimacy. Touching the cheek represents a point where the connection between two people becomes undeniably romantic, emotional, and deep, leaving little to no room for misunderstanding about the level of interest between you. If you can touch a woman's cheek and she responds positively, allowing you to touch her this way and maintaining proximity, you can be absolutely certain there is genuine attraction, deep trust, and a mutual desire to be close to one another. The cheek is one of the most vulnerable areas of the face, and allowing someone to touch it is an act that requires courage and trust. So when she allows this, she is saying unequivocally that you are someone important to her. When she allows the cheek touch and responds with a smile, sustained eye contact, or any other gesture indicating approval and a desire for closeness, you are receiving clear confirmation of a real and deep connection, and that she is completely open to letting this connection develop toward a genuine, meaningful, and potentially lasting intimacy that goes far beyond superficial or passing interest. Sixth place, the chin. Touching the chin is one of the most sensual and intentionally romantic gestures you can make toward a woman, as this area represents a bridge between the face and the neck, extremely sensitive and erotic zones that are naturally protected. When a woman allows you to touch her chin, especially in a deliberate and intentional way, it communicates that she recognizes and accepts the romantic intention behind the gesture and is willing to explore an intimacy that is clearly physical and sensual. The chin is an area that demands great proximity. You need to be very close to her to touch it, and when she doesn't pull away or protect herself during this contact, she is saying she wants to be close to you in that way and trusts you to touch her body in a manner charged with sensual intent. Psychologically, touching the chin activates deep neurobiological responses associated with sexual and emotional attraction, significantly increasing levels of oxytocin and other chemicals that reinforce the romantic bond between two people. When she allows you to touch her chin and responds positively, she is communicating crystal clearly that there is a physical and romantic attraction she is not only acknowledging, but also inviting you to explore and deepen. A woman's response to a chin touch is absolutely revealing of her true level of romantic interest and physical desire, as this is a touch that goes beyond simple platonic affection or friendship. If she lifts her face toward you when you touch her chin, maintains intense eye contact, breathes more deeply, or indicates approval and desire in any way, you can be absolutely certain she wants to be near you in an unequivocally romantic and sensual way. The chin is also an area many men find extremely attractive, and when she allows your touch there, she is essentially surrendering to you, allowing you to see and touch her as someone desirable and attractive on the most physical and sensual level. Relationship psychology studies show that touching the chin is often a precursor to kissing or even greater physical intimacy, as it represents a level of proximity and intention that is clearly romantic in nature. Touching the chin also communicates gentle dominance and admiration at the same time, suggesting you see her as desirable and wish to be in emotional control of the situation. When she responds positively, she's allowing you to take that role and guide the intimacy between you in a way that is mutually desired and appreciated. Seventh place, the side of the neck. Touching the side of the neck is one of the most sensually charged and intentionally intimate gestures you can make with a woman, as this area is extremely sensitive, vulnerable, and traditionally associated with seduction and deep physical intimacy. When a woman allows you to touch the side of her neck, she is surrendering to you in a way that requires extreme trust as the neck is one of the most unprotected areas of the body, where vital arteries and highly sensitive neurological points are located. Touching the side of the neck communicates an intention that is clearly sensual and romantic. It is a touch that often precedes kisses, passionate hugs, or other forms of physical intimacy. And when she allows it, she is saying unequivocally that she wants to be close to you in that way and is open to the intimacy that naturally follows this type of contact. Psychologically, the neck is one of the primary erotic areas of the female body, filled with nerve endings that, when stimulated, send direct signals to the brain, interpreted as physical desire and intense attraction. When she allows you to touch the side of her neck and responds with approval, she is communicating that you awaken in her a sense of genuine physical desire, and she is not only acknowledging this, but actively inviting you to deepen the intimacy between you. A woman's response to a touch on the side of the neck is absolutely definitive when it comes to determining if there is genuine romantic interest and real physical desire between you. If she closes her eyes when you touch her neck, breathes more deeply, tilts her head to give you better access, smiles, or makes any gesture indicating approval and pleasure, you can be 100% sure she wants to be near you in an explicitly sensual and romantic way. The side of the neck is also an area many women find extremely erotic when touched by someone they desire, and allowing your touch in this region is an act that goes far beyond simple interest or friendship. It is a clear opening for deeper physical intimacy. Neuroscientific studies show the neck contains some of the most sensitive tactile receptors in the body, which, when stimulated, activate brain areas associated with pleasure, sexual attraction, and intense desire, making the neck touch one of the most reliable indicators of genuine interest and real physical chemistry. Touching the side of the neck is also often a direct precursor to passionate kisses, and when she allows this contact and responds positively, she may be signaling a willingness to let the intimacy between you progress toward even deeper forms of physical and emotional connection. 8th place, behind the ear. Touching behind the ear is one of the most intimately sensual and psychologically significant gestures you can make with a woman, as this small area concentrates some of the most sensitive tactile receptors in the entire body and is closely connected to brain areas controlling desire, pleasure, and deep emotional connection. When a woman allows you to touch behind her ear, she is allowing a level of intimacy that goes beyond almost any other form of physical contact. As this touch requires extreme proximity, you need to be practically whispering near her, and it communicates an intention that is deeply sensual, romantic, and potentially sexual in nature. Touching behind the ear is traditionally one of the most seductive gestures a man can make, as this area awakens intense physical responses in most women, causing chills, a racing heart, and a wave of sensations interpreted as desire and attraction at the most primal level. Psychologically, when she allows you to touch behind her ear, she is placing herself in a position of maximum vulnerability, trusting you to be gentle and respectful, while simultaneously signaling a willingness to explore physical intimacy that is genuinely deep and potentially transformative. Touching this area releases a cascade of chemicals, dopamine, oxytocin, and others, that intensify the feeling of connection and desire, creating a neurobiological bond that is hard to ignore or deny. A woman's response to a touch behind the ear is absolutely revealing and definitive about the level of physical desire and genuine romantic interest she feels for you, as this is one of the most sensitive and revealing touches you can perform. If she closes her eyes when you touch her in this area, if her breathing changes and becomes deeper, if she leans in to be even closer to you, makes sounds of satisfaction or pleasure, or indicates in any way that she is enjoying the sensation, you can be absolutely certain she wants to be near you in an intensely sensual way and is completely open to even greater intimacy. Touching behind the ear is also frequently a direct precursor to neck kisses, lip kisses, or other forms of deep physical intimacy, as it represents a level of proximity and sensual intention that is practically unmistakable. Studies show that touching behind the ear activates brain areas associated with sexual pleasure and emotional bonding so intensely that it is considered one of the most effective touches for awakening desire and intensifying the romantic connection between two people. When she allows this touch and responds positively, she's not only confirming she wants to be near you, but is also signaling a willingness to let the intimacy between you progress toward even deeper forms, potentially including consensual and genuinely desired sexual contact. If this video made sense to you, show your support. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and write gratitude in the comments. This small action helps the algorithm take this message to more men who need to open their eyes and reclaim their inner strength. Every interaction of yours drives this movement. Thanks for watching. Stay with us, because every day we share ideas and guidance to help you strengthen your mind, rebuild your self-esteem, and take control of your own story. Take care, and see you in the next video.